Administration. Oregon registration number DM80031.
Welcome back here. What's Cooking program, the nation's food, wine, restaurant, travel, and entertainment show. I'm Michael Horn along with Paul Stern. Coming up on the show today, also, Sharice McHugh will be here, president of the Half Moon Bay, California Chamber of Commerce, going to tell us what to do and where to go at Half Moon Bay, speaking of the San Francisco Chronicle competition that is up in the Bay Area. With us right now, ladies and gentlemen, our buddy, the rock and roll chef, Chef William Bloxam Carter. He is the man who controls it all for so many years at the Playboy Mansion, food, beverage-wise. He is the guy that puts on those fabulous parties. Much respect over the years for his boss, the great Hugh Hefner. And as we mentioned, the lovely Crystal and Mr. Hefner getting together sometime soon. I have not seen it. I'm going to look in the mailbag here. Make sure if my invitation for the wedding has come. Since I'm good friends, and Paul Stern is with Chef William Bloxam Carter. Oh, there was no mail delivery.
If I'm not mistaken,
Martin Luther King Day. Yes, Paul, did you get an invitation possibly, Paul? Was I shut down again?
I'll have to look into that one as well. If I'm not mistaken, though, I would say that the standards at the Playboy Mansion higher than perhaps even the White House.
Well, no, I
mean, when you talk about Mr. Hefner,
put it this way: the wedding will be like a state dinner for a foreign dignitary. But
as much time and detail and attention goes into putting these events together, then I would say a diplomatic affair.
Definitely a diplomatic affair. But back to Mike for a second. The invitations haven't been sent out yet because they have not scheduled a official date yet for it.
Okay, all right. I thought maybe they might want to have Paul and myself over at the house early on just so we could kind of get to know Crystal a little more and Mr. Hefner. Possibly for like a, Friday night, watch some TV or something, and maybe have a little something prepared by you, Chef William Bloxam Carter.
Well, I got to tell you, there's a very nice picture of you here in the lobby in your tuxedo, Mike. And
thank you.
You know what? If I give you a silver tray and some hors d'oeuvres, maybe you could pass them around.
I would do that. I would do anything you want, Chef. That's it. All right, let's talk about wines. You mentioned the trend was towards sweeter, and we talked about that last night. Is that indeed the case? Is that what you're seeing, Chef? Is the taste buds going towards sweeter wines?
Yes, it is. And I think the biggest indicator of that is one of the best-of-class gold medal winners was a white wine, consumer-friendly pricing. I mean, the retail price point is $6.99 a bottle, and that is Barefoot Cellars California Chardonnay. And it has a little bit of that sweetness on it. Now, if you remember, Jed Steele, when he was the winemaker for Kendall Jackson, there was that big lawsuit between him and Jess Jackson when he decided to leave, saying there's a secret formula to my Chardonnay. And there were like 2 or 3 different varietals put in there. But there was actually a touch of sweetness added to it. And harking back even to 20, 30 years ago, the Trinchero family, when they had Sutter Home White Zinfandel, remember there was that little bit of sweetness to it. But what we're seeing more, Mike, is this ripeness, this fleshiness going on, the fruit-forward flavor profiles in red wines as well. For instance, Zinfandel, people are so used to having that kind of upfront berry fruitiness to it that they think that is what Zinfandel is to be, or vineyard managers are leaving a little more hang time on the fruit on the vine, which of course produces higher sugar levels. And then when that's converted to alcohol with the inoculation of the yeast, there's still some residual sugar in there. Now we're talking minor amounts, particularly in the red wines, 0.2, 0.3% RS on them. Some of them are bone dry, but not really. But with the white wines, we are seeing this trend more. Now, my panel was very fortunate enough to get some very high-end Chardonnays, $40 and over, sent to our panel. And even those were having that kind of smoothness added to them, so there was just a tinge of sweetness on them.
All right, so the trend to the sweet. And then you mentioned that if we want to taste on it, and you, of course, we're talking to everybody, and if you join us late, Chef William Bloxam Carter is here, the executive chef. We call him the rock and roll chef from the famed Playboy Mansion, and also a man in demand for tasting panels and the like. And every year he does judge at the San Francisco Chronicle, the Rose Bowl, or the granddaddy of them all, wine competition. And You mentioned on the 19th, the weekend of the 19th, anybody from any place in the country can come to San Francisco and taste the winners. They'll be there available for tasting?
That is correct. There is a ticket cost to it, and I'm not sure the pricing on it. I think it's $65 or $80 at the door, but you can order them in advance and save some dough that way by going to winejudging.com. So again, Saturday, February 19th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., and I encourage people from all parts of the country to make a weekend out of it. Go to San Francisco, have a ball. To have all these wines in front of you is going to help your palate grow, particularly if you're tasting a $7 Chardonnay and a $40 Chardonnay. It's fun to do that kind of thing.
And the website is winejudging.com to get the information?
That is correct, to buy tickets and to also see the rankings of all the results of the competition itself.
By the way, apparently a lot of people in our chat room are liking your look there, Chef William Bloxham Carter. So there you go. When we come back, let's get some of the winners from the San Francisco Wine Competition. Get your pencils and papers ready. We'll jot down some of the gold medals and best of show. Stay with us on What's Cooking from CRN.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 120,000 miles with an